Titleist are back with 5 brand new irons for 2025. So what are the differences and which one should you be putting in play? Let's go hit them all and find out.
Just want to talk you through kind of new range that we've got so you understand all the models before you get going. First one, T100, the most played iron on the PGA Tour. We've been the #1 iron model on the PGA Tour for 11 years in a row now, and T100 over recent years got a huge part to do with that. So update on what you've seen previously with T100, but some improvements as well. So we're looking at higher launch here in the longer irons, and we're also looking at a little bit more spin consistency from rough and wet conditions. We've got a new groove in the product, so hopefully you're going to see that play out as you go through your fit with the T100.
We've also got some sneaky new font on the bottom here that I've noticed. I think that looks really nice.
Yep, new font, and you'll see as we go through as well, new finish to the product. So very much a satin finish that's consistent across all of the models that we've got here. I swapped that one for a 150. So this is the tour iron for the rest of us. So everything that's good about T100, but in a package it's going to deliver you a little bit more ball speed, it's a degree stronger in loft, and it's got the muscle channel that we have in the back of our products down to 7 iron, helping for ball speed consistency, also helping for launch in the longer irons. So, but still kind of that dual cavity forged design.
They both look really nice. You can barely see the difference in size, can you? Which I think
Exactly
is a nice
that.
thing.
Yeah, this is a smidge thicker top line in sole to 100 and 1 mil bigger in blade length. So pretty small changes, but enough to give you the confidence behind the golf ball. With 100s a little bit on the small side for you. Then we move into T250, the only model here that we've given a new name to with this launch. Felt like there was enough new technology in this product that it deserved it. This is also a little bit longer in blade length. It's 1.5 mil longer, but we're really looking at a singular design here. So we've had really good feedback so far in terms of the looks of the product, the aesthetics.
Yeah, it looks really good. It looks very blade-like, doesn't it?
Looks like a blade, yeah, but it's big enough behind the ball to give the golfer confidence as well. Again, very much looking at high launch, getting the golf ball coming in with a decent landing angle, great forgiveness and good feel here with that forged face insert as well. And then maximum forgiveness and maximum ball speed in the T350. This product's designed, it's a game improvement product, but the use of tungsten in the product makes it, uber forgiving, even in quite a small package for game improvement area.
Yeah, it's a small size for like that category. Like I like the looks of it.
Trying to keep the aesthetics good. We know our player doesn't want to look at a huge iron, so trying to keep and pack all of that technology into a smaller head, but give the most forgiveness that we can, which we've done with this head. And still, this singular design is going to help with improved sound and feel out of the product as well.
You talked a bit about more height and more ball speed, and obviously these have all got different lofts. What would you say to the golfer who maybe says, oh, all the new irons have just got stronger lofts, that's why they go further?
So there's a few different things to that. We're going to get you to hit all of these irons in a minute, Hannah. What we want to see is that you'll get the same peak height out of all of these 7 irons. So it will show you that even though lofts go stronger, what we're really trying to search for that golfer who needs it is more distance, but playable distance. So we still want the golf ball in the air. We still want it coming down with a decent angle of descent. We're looking in the 45-degree kind of range there for most golfers. We think that we've set this product up in a way to do that. There's a lot of tungsten at the bottom of this product. We've got almost 100 grams of tungsten in our T350 irons, right? That tungsten being down low drags the CG down. It's going to get golf ball flight up in the air. So yes, the lofts are stronger, but we combat that with technology in the head to make sure you're still going to get the right flight. And there's one other iron I want to show you. So T250 Launch Spec. I've just got the fitting head for this one at the moment. So for us, this is all the same great technology that you're going to experience in T250, but designed with more conventional, more traditional lofts, so 35-degree 7 iron, and also a slightly lighter head weight. So this golf club's going to be great for that golfer who's searching more height. And you talk about cranking lofts, about that being a way to create distance. We actually think adding loft for some golfers is a way to create distance, and appropriate distance.
Yeah, because if some people don't get enough height, they don't get enough hang time to actually get the carry distance.
Exactly that. So this is a new take for us. We haven't really had an iron in this space before. But we're really excited about it. We think any golfer that needs more launch is going to benefit, but you can think juniors, ladies, seniors. I kind of think about the club champion from 25 years ago, right? Who doesn't want to play a big game improvement iron. They're still a good player, but they've lost some speed. The ball's a bit flat now. This product's going to be a really good product for them to try to get those kind of flight windows back that they used to see a few years back. So that's the new range.
Let's go hit them. Just pausing for a second to give you a chance to hit that subscribe button. Over 80% of people watching my channel aren't currently subscribed, and having a bigger subscriber number really helps in terms of what content I can go film and what great videos I can bring back to you. So please hit that subscribe button, and while you're there, you might as well give this video a like and drop us a comment about what else you want to see on the channel.
We're going to do 3 with each. We'll go through the models. Just hit them at first. Just get an idea of what they feel like, what they look like, sound like.
See, this looks really nice behind the ball because I'm just used to like using the T100 shape. Did you say the colour was slightly different? The finish?
Finish is slightly different.
Yeah. I feel like it's less glary, like when with the sun. Oh, that sounded fast. That went really high, didn't it?
I'll tell you in a minute.
That definitely went really high. That is very easy to launch.
Good flight on that, Hannah.
It's going very near the flag as well, which is quite
I was
nice.
about to say, on your camera, if you zoom in, you might be able to see it land. Okay.
Perfect, thanks. So I like the fact this doesn't look much bigger. Is the front a bit more curved? Or is that just me?
As in, like, the leading edge you're talking about? Might just be the view.
Oh, that went even higher. They sound really similar, which I like. Just sometimes you can move through the range and like they kind of feel and sound different.
So you said it doesn't look that much different versus the T1, and it doesn't sound much different. So that's good.
They're going insanely high.
You're not used to seeing it go that high from your conventional 7-iron, no?
Well, I used to hit it really high, but not as much recently.
Okay. Very good. Right. Next model.
They look pretty consistent in terms of distance those as well.
Yeah. Obviously with the 150 you've got the muscle channel in the 7-iron. So that'll be why you're feeling like it's a bit coming off the face a bit hotter, a bit higher. All right. 250? 250. Got some good numbers here.
They're just really easy to hit, aren't they? Like you don't even have to hit them perfect, which is quite comforting. That was definitely a bit
That's a good comment.
bottom groovy. Is there like a height people should be looking for?
So, you know, the last time you came up here, we speak about our 3Ds and our fitting philosophy. Descent angle is one of those key ones. Now, the thing you've got to bear in mind when you are chasing descent angle and getting that height, it's, for me, when you're chasing that descent angle going up so that they've got maximum stopping power, you've got to take into account how much distance you potentially could take away from them. So I don't want to lose too much distance chasing 50 as an example. So if you took someone's 7-iron and you got 50 and it's 90 feet of air time, but it's going 20 yards shorter, unless they're really fast, they're not going to want to lose 20 yards off their 7-iron. So there is a leeway depending on the speed that you're working with. If you've got somebody at relatively good speed, average golfers, 45 to 50 is doable. When you get slower swing speed, getting to 45 can be a challenge, but as close to it without losing any distance is our ultimate goal. But this year it'll be interesting with 250 Launch Spec, seeing how that can adopt to those players that potentially we wouldn't be looking to push past 45 because they'd be losing so much speed, whether that is just going to do it for us because it does what it does.
Okay, so we want to be looking more at descent angle than the actual height of the shot.
Yeah, correct.
Peak height's your peak height, right? And to a large extent, that's going to be what it is. I think what we want to do is make sure whatever your peak height is with a 7-iron, we can match that with a 6-iron and a 5-iron and a 4-iron if you put it in the bag. So it's important for you that we maintain it for all of your clubs, but whether it's 70, 100, 120 feet, whatever it might be, we can play with that as long as the land angle is appropriate. And there, we really want to be over 40, 45 to 50 if we can.
I think loads of people don't realise each club's meant to go the same height. Because everyone gets so used to getting to a point in their iron set where suddenly it goes lower. And I think then they just think that's what's meant to happen.
It's also where you play as well, right? So if you get a lot of links players, we get it a lot up here where you get a lot of Scottish players or Welsh players or coastal players, and they hit their 5-iron and you're looking at the data and the 3Ds and you're like, right, that's 15 feet lower than what your 7-iron was doing. We're probably going to look at no, I love that. And you're like, right, into wind, you're great. 100% agree with you. It's flatter, it's coming in like, but when you're downwind, what people don't realise is downwind, that lower flight with less spin comes out the sky quicker. So I could you could beat me into wind because I've got to adopt by going up a club and flighting it down, but downwind I've got you for days because I can hit something that I'm more accurate with, like a 6-iron, higher, carry the wind and end up closer, whereas yours is dipping out and you feel like you've got to go up to a 4-iron just to keep it in the air. Make sense?
Yeah, that's really annoying when you hit a shot and you think downwind's going to help and then it just kills it.
I remember watching that GT video back and how wet it looked.
Which is... That sounded quick. I like how that went through the turf. Sometimes when I go up like to bigger clubs, I'm not very good through the turf. Like my attack angle changes, I don't like hit down into it.
Because the sole design, yeah. So as the sole gets thicker, it's harder for you to, you always feel like you have to hit down more.
Yeah, but what weirdly, my attack angle gets less. It's like the more club I see, the like more I try and hit it like I would.
Okay, it's interesting.
I'm just a bit weird.
No, everyone's got their ways of doing it. Nice.
Oh, maybe I'll have a set of these.
So this for me, like I heard you talking to Ben and Ben talking through, and you asked Ben about like stronger lofted irons and models and stuff. And I know we've only hit 2 there, but it's kind of the reason I want to talk about it is that's, you know, 5 degrees stronger than what we started with. And you're sitting there looking at it and you're going, okay, well that should come in lower, right? It should be a lot flatter, should be a lot hotter. Whenever we design irons and whenever the R&D team design irons, the 3Ds, that's at the core of their design. It has to get decent descent angle. It has to have consistent distance control, and the dispersion has to be pretty good. So when you look at like your first hit of T100, you know, you're 81 feet, you go up to T150, you're creeping on a few, so you've got like an 86 or 79. That last one you hit there is 82. Land angle at 44. So just because it's got faster, more forgiving, because of what Ben was talking about, all the tungsten, all the CG location, the tech that goes into it, the max impact, what that's promoting is getting that ball up in the air. It allows us to give a club to a player that potentially needs that forgiveness, needs that speed, all the benefits of being able to still hit at a green and have stopping power. So it's not like, well, these just go super far and I can never hold a green. It has to have our fitting philosophy in it.
I think that's the thing, like generally in reviews I don't really say this is this loft and this is this loft, because I think it's about you hitting it and then seeing if it's the right height for you. But people do get annoyed and they're like, what are the lofts? That's why it's going far. And I'm like, no, like the loft is stronger because there's more tech in the head.
100%.
And if it wasn't, it would literally go up your nose.
Yeah.
Correct. Correct. That's literally how I explain most of the time when we have our education days here with other trade partners. That's literally what we say. If you put that same tech into a T350, left it at 35 degrees, that thing's going straight up.
We're going to show you in a minute.
Yeah.
Because you're going to T250 Launch Spec, which is in fact, this will back up all of those videos you've ever done, right? Because this is T250 kind of tech, so that tungsten, that low CG, but with a 35 degree, very traditional, you know, MB if you like, loft, and you'll see how it flies. You'll see how it goes.
See how high I can get it to go.
Yeah. Whilst your peak heights, you know, if you do group it, your peak heights as we go through, you're 79 on the 350, you're 74 on the 250, 78 on the 150, 79. So your peak heights, maybe you could argue 250, but you hit a couple more further left there, that'll bring it down. So your peak heights are consistent throughout. Your land angles, you know, 45, 45, you round up, 42, 43. So, okay, land angles on 100 and 150 slightly higher than those two.
But only a degree.
But the reason why is because of the spin change. So you can see the spin change here, 5.9 or 6, give it 6. So you're 6 on the 150 and 100. And then it's 5.3 and just over 5,000. So when you strengthen lofts, we can still give you peak height. We can do our best to retain spin, but there's an element of you're going to lose some spin because of the loft. Now, depending on who the player is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because lower spin is going to give you more distance typically. If you're a golfer that's seeking more distance, but in a playable spec that still has a high peak height and a good land angle, 350 is going to be a great option. If you're somebody that says, no, I want spin up because I know that that's going to help give me consistency in distance, you know, and I'm not chasing overall distance. In 100 or 150, looks like it would be a better option. So different ways around it.
Right, let's see how high I can hit this.
How does it look behind the ball?
Good. I think it looks really nice. It actually looks not miles off the T100, I would say. Like, I think if you didn't know as well, obviously I look at them all the time.
Yeah, of course.
And I still can't see the massive difference.
Well, it's a bit of testament to the R&D team and in how they've designed all the new range and what they're looking to do. You've got to leave the giggle in.
That definitely did go high. It still got over that little hill though.
Yeah, so you haven't given up a lot of ball speed. See, 106 on ball speed. So, like, realistically, you haven't given up huge amounts versus what you're currently using to gain a peak height of 90 feet.
Yeah. You could almost argue, like, if you were going to play LPGA, like the biggest... I know some of the coaches who are, like, working out in Korea with the girls who are prepping for LPGA, and all they work on is, like, peak height and descent angle. Yeah. Because the greens get so hard and fast out there.
Correct, yeah.
And all they're trying to do is get it near the pin. Not quite the same in England, sadly.
Yeah, it's a bit windier down there.
How do I keep this out of the wind and the rain? It sounds really nice too. Better not tell my mum about these.
Yeah, it's good.
Please tell you.
No, she'll be like, "Are you going to take me down?" I feel like my mum is kind of the perfect golf for these because she's like 9 handicap but losing a bit of speed.
This is awesome, Hannah, because you're so like very good golfer, very consistent with your delivery. You can actually, like, the clubs do exactly what we would expect to see with kind of robot testing, which is pretty cool.
So you can see 148 with yours. You go down to 142. But you gain substantial height, 76 feet. 44.5 land angle with what you're using at 6'2", to get 6'3" at 47 at 83 feet. You know, best being 90 foot.
Yeah. Like. Spin's still pretty high there.
Yeah, absolutely. Spin is high. What I think is interesting, we talked earlier, and you said about how you've explained in the past of why, you know, lofts get stronger in irons as companies develop irons. You know, they've got more tech and a lower CG. You can see that kind of play out as you go through. As we strengthen lofts, we keep the same peak height, but you just gain more distance, right? The one golf club that's built different here within the range, or built to do a different thing, is this T250 Launch Spec, where we've got all of that tech, but we haven't touched the loft. We've put it back to 35 degrees, and you can see how that then doesn't stack up with everything else. For you, because that's not appropriate for you, you don't need that support and that help to create height. But a golfer that does, you can see how that golf club's going to be, you know, going to be their friend.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. I feel like I just like it as well because it's got a star on the end. Like, it feels like it's cooler, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I've got the secret model.
It's the
like,
pro. It's the pro.
Do you know what I mean? That's usually like a tour model where it's a name and then it has something else on the end.
No.
Just get it for that reason, guys.